y'all. This is the girls of Slick Talk.
Hey, Miss Iverson.
And this is Hunny.
And we have a special guest, Mr. Todd.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Okay. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
So we're going to get right into it. We have him here. We want him to tell us, you know, what he does for a living, how he got to where he's at, how it is living in Atlanta, dating,
being an entrepreneur,
being a black man, just everything that it takes. Yeah, and being young and getting it. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of young people don't have it figured out, but, you know, I'm glad that I'm associated with a lot of people who have it going on.
Yes.
So
we talking about everything.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of pressure.
First, just give us, a synopsis of Todd.
Okay. So I've been in Atlanta. This is year 6. Came up here to go to school. I started up here at Georgia State. I graduated, majored in law. So currently, I do study for my LSAT a little bit. I actually took my LSAT for the first time in November. You know, I ain't scored too high.
That's okay.
But entrepreneur status, what got me to where I'm at, school was a big part of where I, made my connections and where I started. That's one thing I will say Atlanta is it breeds connections. That's how I met Jazz, So, school, came up here for school, studied law. While I was in school, I got into promoting parties. Throwing parties in the school, in the city, hosting parties, things of that sort. Of course, being out there, you meet a lot of other people doing a lot of other things. School, you meet certain people doing certain things. Outside, in the clubs, at the parties, you meet people doing certain things. So yeah, that's kind of what branched me off into entrepreneur. I've started with a clothing line. That's where I very first started, Thorough Cloth. It went from the clothing line to I actually legalized me a promo team and a promo company. So I have Thorough Promotions. And then from there, I actually just recently started a real estate investment company. So it's Thorough Investment. So that's the business side. Yeah, I think we're gonna
have to clap for that black man real quick.
We definitely gonna give him a round of applause. So I want to kind of piggyback off of you said you came here and you started with school. What would you tell someone that is inspiring to come here for college? What were some things that made you who you are, kept you on your grind, and also some things that you felt like kind of those do's and don'ts. I wish I knew before I came here.
That's a great question. Well, what I will say is, what I tell anybody is, I feel like Atlanta is a city within itself. It's not necessarily a normal city.
No, it's not.
So if you're coming up here for school, the first thing I say is you have to be grounded in, like you said, in who you are and in yourself. You can't get sidetracked because it's so easy to get sidetracked. Depending on what school you choose to go to when you come up here, again, I went to Georgia State. Georgia State is scattered across the city. So we didn't really have a campus. It was
so you were exposed to so much of the city.
Right. My dorm might be here. Classes might be 6 blocks up the street, 7 blocks. We catch a bus to go to class. Right? Wow. So, depending on what school you choose to go to, I think it kind of helps determine your path. The HBCUs, the AUC, Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse, they're right there. So they're breeded kind of different, So that's one thing I will say. You got to be grounded in yourself, staying focused. Coming to Atlanta, if you choose to come to Atlanta, you got to be able to branch out and talk, make connections, have network. You get what I'm saying? Those are the main things to me. That's what I would give you advice. Don't come up here
expecting handouts.
Expecting handouts. Don't come up here just so straightforward focused on. Because for me, 5 years ago, what I would have told you is, I'm going to school, I'm going to go to law school, and I'm going to be an attorney. But Atlanta, it shows you it's so different routes, it's different things out here. You might be interested in this. One thing I will say is Atlanta brought a creative side out. So that's how I was able to start my clothing line. You know what I'm saying? You see so many, especially black people, doing things. It's it's inspiring.
It's in the possibilities. It's letting you know that it's there. It's attainable.
You can do it, right? I've seen so many people that I went to school with make it to the league, playing in the NFL, like doing tours, and it's like it's right there. You could do it, and Atlanta definitely shows you like you could do it.
Okay.
All right. So now to the nitty gritty. What about that dating life? How that dating life in Atlanta? Because we always, let me just say this.
Yes.
We always have female perspective on this show about dating because it's two females hosting the show.
Correct.
So to finally have an outlook on relationships from a man,
Yes,
other than our other co-host that y'all don't see very often, Mr. Brian. You know, it's difficult to understand sometimes how you guys think and how you guys operate.
yes.
So we want the girls want to know.
Women are vocal, but
Yes.
we do have to.
We want to, you know,
Zip
we
it a
want to
little bit,
know.
but
We want to
let me
know
hear your
like
perspective.
Atlanta is.
Okay.
What's the do's and don'ts? You know, you don't have to really elaborate on your personal, you know, life or what you got going on, but just give us some outlook on the male perspective on dating in Atlanta. Like, give us the tea.
All right, so what I will say is the do's and don'ts, it differs, right?
Okay.
I think it goes back to dating in Atlanta for men, to be honest, is based off you. It's based off your morals and your values. It's based off what you stand for, right? What I will say is it's not easy dating in Atlanta. Like, it's not, you feel what I'm saying? Just to be honest, I go back to when I first came to school. Or I could just go back to, like, me, growing up. You know, I was built off certain morals, certain values, certain principles. Certain things I'm not going for, like, despite the money, or it doesn't matter. It's just certain things I just wasn't raised off of, right? And what I will say is Atlanta is fugazi. Like, it's not real. Like,
facade.
Right? So it's a facade. So
How do you see through that? You know, I mean, I'm the married one.
You gotta put the glasses on, sis. That's how you see. That's the only way you can see.
Y'all know
That's the only way we gonna see.
But no, to keep it above though, the way you see through
it. That's
is,
how I be wondering. I tell them all the time, like, they life seem like it sucks for y'all.
The way you see through it is to go through it. It's experience. To be honest, like, and I tell my dogs that all the time. Like, I was blessed to come from a certain type of home. And I was blessed to be able to be exposed to certain type of things growing up, and still being grounded and rooted in certain type of things while being exposed to those things, right? So when I came to Atlanta, it was hard at first, like, just being real. I used to call my mom and tell her, like, I hate Atlanta, like, I'm coming home. I'm gonna finish this first semester, and after this first semester,
tell everybody where home is.
Home is Alabama. My parents live in Alabama. I graduated high school in Alabama. Originally, I was born in New York. So what I tell everybody is, and I bring that up is, my reason in saying is because I tell everybody I was raised in Alabama, or I grew up in Alabama, but I was raised in a New York household. So it's kind of like, in the house, your morals and your principles and your values are kind of different than what you're exposed to on the outside. You feel me? So I feel like the way that I was raised, not where I was raised, played a big part in how I grew up.
Now, were you in a two-parent household?
Yes, I have a two-parent household. Shout out to my parents. My parents been married 30 plus years.
And I love them. I love them.
Yes. But so
that plays a big part.
A huge part.
Yeah.
A huge part. And just to be real, that's something that I
at.
really take into consideration when I'm talking to or when I'm dealing with a female, and she lets it be known that she comes from a one-parent household. That's something that I kind of take into consideration, because through experience, what I have kind of learned is not all females, not all women, but it's like a lot of women who were raised by just their mom, they have a certain level of respect for men. You feel me? And it's like, because maybe that absence of a father plays a role in it.
That could be it.
And that's not something that I can entertain. That's not something I can do.
You don't want to be the punching bag.
Right. That's not.
You don't want to be the daddy issues or any other issues that they may have had.
Kill yourself, then come see him, y'all.
But
he like, I need you to take care of that first. But we promote black mental health stuff. Go get that counseling. That's good.
Hey, that's for real. Right. So again, I used to call my mom and tell them, like, I hate it. Like, I'm coming home. Like, Atlanta, and literally I used to tell her, this is 6 years ago, I'm 26, so at 20 years old, I was telling her, Ma, this is a facade. Like, it's not real here. Like, the people ain't real. Like, I'm realizing I'm seeing people that I go to school with, they like out and they look a certain type of way, but then when we get back to the dorm, it's like, hey bro, can I get, or hey bro, you got, and it's like I'm starting to realize and put two and two together, like, okay, so it's really how you look, or it's really like the clout that you got going on, and where I come from, that's just not it. And so what I realized is that goes into dating here. Like, okay, now it's not how you look, or now it's not what you can bring to the, well, I ain't even gonna say what you bring to the table, because before they even realize what you could bring to the table is what kind of motion you got going on out here. Who are you? Do your name hold some weight? Like,
who do you know?
Before they even figure out, like, oh, he really got, oh, he's really, you feel what I'm saying? So it's a double-edged sword. Like, and it's, if you're not in the middle and you don't see both sides and you can't play both sides, then you just gonna sink.
Okay.
You feel me? So that's the way I look at it. It's like, you get out here, you play this side until you figure out
where you fit in.
And everybody can't play. What I tell everybody is, everybody isn't a good actor. So at some point, they're gonna expose who they really are. All you gotta do is play that role.
I agree.
That's how I do it. That's
no.
So if you come into Atlanta to date, if you come into Atlanta to date, what I will say is, have your bag right and just be ready to play around and figure it out.
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes. Honestly.
When I first got here when I was 20, it was the same way. So I'm 33 years old now. It's been 13 years since I've been here. I've seen the dating pool fluctuate. You know what I'm saying? So I've been able to see 13 years of
fuckery.
You know what I'm saying?
Look. I'm going to say it.
It goes up and down all the time, and I've seen it. You know, that's why I've always wanted to import any type of man that I've dated, because I just could never find that whole person here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've always looked outside, like where I'm actually from. You know, Virginia got a lot of wholesome men. Because, you know, they brought up on family, you know, get married, work, take care of your family. Like, that's what they, you know, groomed to do. Here, it's more so like, it's going to be me, you, and another woman. You know, they into poly a lot here. No shade to nobody, but, you know, my lifestyle, I can only deal with one person. I don't even like females for us to even be in a poly situation. So, it's like, I've seen
so many different lifestyles.
And you know, like now, because I am in a situation where I'm figuring things out, you have to date with intent now. Like, even if it's not intentional to be something more than just us hanging out, you state your intentions up front. Like, you know,
why don't people do
that? I'm looking for this. Hey, I'm looking for this.
Hey, I'm looking for this. But even like down to, I mean, let's face it, you know, me and Brian, we've been together for years. I mean, 22 years total, almost 14 married. So our biggest thing is not, it's not the, like you said, the dating thing for us. Ours has been like the friendship thing. So it's not, it's the same thing, because it's still a relationship with other people.
You dating your friend. Like,
your friend. Right. And
friendships,
like said,
relationships, all that
is hard for us to connect with people, because the same thing. We come from Virginia, so our values are different. Things that, I mean, I'm a person, I don't like to throw around the word friend a lot. Like, a lot of people say sis and bro. I'm one of them type of people, they be like, why you take things so personal? And I'm like, I'm from Virginia. I'm not on this fake shit.
Oh, y'all from the same place?
Yeah.
So literally.
I live next door to her grandma.
Yeah, so, you know, it's like, when you think about that, it's like, I wish more people would be honest. And like you said, I'm real upfront. I tell people, like, look, I'm not your friend that's going to go to the club with you all the time. But if you get stuck at 3 a.m., and I happen to be sober,
I'll come get you.
I'm the one that's going to come get you. So I always tell people, you know, in all relationships, be intentional. You know, like, when we're talking about making our 2021 and 2022 goals, be very clear and intentional. So whether you're dating,
it's so important.
Whether it's business, whether, you know, it's just a relationship, anything, be clear up front, because somebody's going to like what you got going on.
And that's what I be trying to... You don't know who's down with whatever you're down with.
Right.
So if you're up front from the get-go, you're saving you and the other person a lot of time.
Heartache.
Because really annoying is to be in something, thinking is one thing, and it's being a whole nother. Like, I know me personally, I am like a chameleon. I can kind of...
You can vibe in many different environments. I might not get down with everything going on,
but I'm gonna be. I can be comfortable in anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if you tell me, I can know how to play my role, or I can know just leave you where you at. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's fair for people.
Correct.
Especially you got everybody working and building and buying.
Doing so much stuff.
Nobody got time to be wasting on just frivolous. See, like me, I'm 33 years old. I don't want to go to nobody's dinner just because I'm hungry. Right. Or I got my own money. And I don't understand that part. Maybe when I was 22, I would have took a free meal. But these days, it's like 20 niggas in my inbox. I'm sorry, 20 males in my inbox talking about dinner and all this. Guess what?
It's like, you need your rent paid.
I'm looking for somebody who's want to get married, want to have children, and if that is not the things that you into, there's no point in me going to dinner with you.
There you go.
I order from Hello Fresh.
She solved it right there. Anybody that want dating advice.
Let me pause you right there for a second. That's what I mean when I say it's kind of like a lot of times you don't even get to that point. Like, I'm not saying I don't know what you have going on, you get what I'm saying? I don't know what these men look like in your DMs, you get what I'm saying? But it's like a lot of times you overlook them DMs, or a lot of times somebody might be trying to have a conversation with you, sitting at the bar. I'm gonna be real. We were sitting at the bar, you asked me, hey, who do your hair?
I did.
I could have just brushed it off. That's how we met. Really? She asked me who do my hair, right? Okay. Jazz did my hair that year for my birthday. And been doing it ever since. Yep. Right? And so it's like, for sure. Hey, y'all might need to tap in though. Yeah. So look, it's like I could have just threw the card away. Or XYZ and just brushed it off. But I think that a lot of times, going back to like the DMs, it's like not saying that you yourself are looking for something particular, but it's like a lot of times you get brushed off because you don't fit that look, or you don't fit that criteria. Of
a lot of girls do curve men because of how they
Because I'm gonna keep it a buck.
They don't have enough followers for me.
But you know what?
That's so weird.
We need to stick on that one, because I think being in business,
social media plays too much.
It plays too much of a role.
Too much.
Because I've been kind of dormant since this year started, and it's a purpose behind it. Because it's one of those things. I ain't hurting, but I ain't posting. I'm kind of debunking things. And like what you said, it's like you kind of have to sometimes in your life pick a period and say, I'm going to do something a little different.
Right.
You've been doing the same thing. Like you said, in the dating world, I'm pretty sure after a while you keep doing the same thing. You're like, okay, I got to switch it up. I got to date a different style. I had that conversation with
my little brother the other day.
And I was telling him. How do you do that? How did you implement that in your life? What, and what was the impact behind it?
What you mean?
Like by changing things up, what did you change and what was the result?
All right, the first thing, the first step, and I'll tell anybody this, is, and it's so hard, is unrooting the roots in what you grew up on. Right? And so, when I say that, I mean, for anybody who don't really understand, when I say that, I mean, you gotta determine which real morals and values, like the way that you was raised and the way that you grew up, what's real, or what really makes you, and then unlearn the things that is going to prevent you from moving forward, whether it be with relationships, friendships, things of that sort. So for me, my first thing was when I came to Atlanta and I started dealing with a lot of different people, a lot of different girls, a lot of different homeboys and different things, and realizing, oh, you know what? Maybe what I learned back then isn't right. Or maybe what I thought was right isn't right. And so with that, I was able to pick certain things up, and then I was able to move along. Okay. Right? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If that answers the question.
No, I mean, I get it. You, like you said, you had to retrain your brain.
Right, basically.
And, learn, heal, grow. Basically. From all, your previous experiences.
Right. So that was my thing. And then once I got there, it was like, okay, now I'm not doing the same thing. So because I'm not doing the same thing, I'm not getting the same results.
Bingo.
Literally, I was talking to my little brother about that, and you know, they say that that's the definition of crazy.
Yep.
Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different.
Like, it ain't
but it's
happen.
like I was telling him, you know, Jazz do my little brother here also, right? So I was telling him that sometimes doing the same thing over and over again, it's not necessarily saying like you're a bum, or it's not necessarily saying like you don't have anything going on in life, but it could literally be you wake up every day, you got to go to work at 9 o'clock, you get off at 5 o'clock. This is for anybody. You go home, you cook. By the time you cook, you're tired. So after you eat, you take a shower, you lay down, you go to sleep. You working, but what are you working toward?
Bingo.
Right? And it's like I'm not saying that I'm not saying that what you're doing is bad or is wrong.
But what's the
purpose
it's like behind it?
What are you doing different that's gonna make tomorrow different for you?
Correct.
Right.
What's the driving force? Like if you had to change courses, still what is that target that you're aiming to hit?
That's
you know?
it. Okay. And so I mean it's just that. It's like, you know, grasping those certain concepts about certain things, implementing them in life, and then realizing, oh, y'all did it this way and you got that result, I'm gonna do it this way and I'm gonna get this result. And that's what got me here. That's how I feel, you know, at 26, I'm here.
Okay.
Come on, shout out to the young generation doing their thing, okay? What generation?
Here?
What would that generation be called?
I'm a millennial.
Don't give me that.
Am I a millennial too? If I'm born in 89?
What are we? Gen X's? Okay. What are we?
I think Gen X's is under us.
Gen X's is that must be.
I think Gen X is under
Y'all not baby boomers. That's my mama.
No, I'm not baby boomers. What are we?
Come on, y'all supposed to know that.
I don't know. I know I'm 33. I do know that.
I know I'm a
37.
millennial.
I'm gonna look it up and we're gonna be.
I'm a millennial.
We gonna get back to y'all.
We're gonna have it at the bottom.
Yeah,
we're gonna edit that in a little bit.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we are able to, you know, see from a male perspective what is out here in Atlanta as far as dating is concerned, as far as career is concerned, as far as what else we touched on, family life,
business, family.
business.
I mean, but what I will, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I'm like kind of different. I'm not an Atlantean. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm not from Atlanta. I tell anybody that all the time.
What's that song that's out right now?
AT Alien.
You know, yep.
They tell me all the time.
Oh, Moretta?
Yeah.
She like,
Oh,
like Atlanta, not Atlanta.
She like that, College Park, and Atlanta.
But she did that at Truist Park in Smyrna. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
she
because
did it.
that's where they got the break. That's where they got the break.
Yeah, but she should have did it at the old Brady
Stadium.
Or maybe like Grady Hospital.
Right. Centennial Park.
But you can't talk about all these places that be in Atlanta and do the video in Smyrna.
Right.
It's weird. But shout out to Amaretta because
yes, no shade.
I love you. All women are great.
Yeah. So question.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we're going to be closing out here soon. So if you had to just leave kind of like some words of encouragement and also kind of let us know maybe like what your 5-year goal is. Chime in.
5-year goal.
Yeah.
Words
We would
of
like to look
encouragement.
back on this and, you know, touch base with you and see what you
Okay,
what
that's
you
cool.
gonna
I'm gonna need this clip then.
Yep.
So all right. So what I will say is first, words of encouragement. I'll just say like, follow your dream. We touched on, you know, when I came to Atlanta. Like I said, I know people doing this, that, and the third. But it's like literally anything is possible. Literally anybody can get anywhere. And not only can anybody get anywhere, what I realized is a lot of times you may be sitting next to somebody who can get you to that next level where you need to be. Right? And so all you got to do is speak up.
Correct.
Follow your dreams. Speak up. It was a quote one time that I read, and it said something about, I can't quote it exactly, but it said something about wolves. And it was like when wolves run in a pack, and one wolf gets hurt.
The leaders at the back to always make sure everybody keeps
that for sure.
Yeah.
But a wolf, when it howls go up to a certain amount of miles. But that's to let every wolf in that area that's in that pack know it's something going on with that wolf. And what I took from that was, you can be sitting around 20 people who might be interested in the same thing that you're interested in. But if you don't speak up, or if you're not promoting your business, or you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, nobody will know. Nobody will be able to assist you.
Exactly.
All right, so
You
I'm
gotta
leaving with
open your
that.
mouth.
I'm leaving with that because I know we wrapping up.
But that's a good
Yeah.
closing remark because I was I don't do it as much now, only because I'm at a point in my life where I'm really not looking for more clients. I'm really just trying to make sure the clientele I have now are consistent. And that's where I'm at now. But when I was first starting out, I talked to everybody. It didn't matter where I was. I used to be on the MARTA because my license was suspended when I was in hair school. I would talk to people on there. Yep. I would talk to people in 5 Points because I would get out there all the time and go eat something or whatever. And I kid you not, it was a lady in Underground Mall. And I gave her one of my cards. And I said, hit me up. I do hair, like blah, blah. Right. Didn't know that they were going to, but I'm going to give my card to everybody see who I think needs my services. Correct. She called me 3 years later. And I did her hair.
I think mine was a little while later.
And even though she never came back after that, she referred 3 other people to me. So and I do their hair still to this day.
They're going to refer more people. So
it's all about, like he said, opening your mouth. Because in Atlanta, you don't know who you're sitting next to. You can literally be beside your new business partner. When she started coming to me to get her done, we didn't know we was about to be doing businesses together. We didn't even know our families knew each other.
We didn't.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you just never know. No. So I would say to everybody who's listening, open your mouth.
Your network is your
network. Your network is your net worth. And that's going to always be rule number 1 in Atlanta, because you never know who you're going to meet here, honestly.
So y'all, this is Slick Talk, female bosses of ATL.
Hold on, wait. I need to say 5 years. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing 5 years.
Todd gonna let me know.
Just so I can look back. All right, so in 5 years, I do my real estate now. In 5 years, I want to do commercial real estate, right?
Okay.
I'm going to own real large companies.
Okay.
Like commercial companies.
Okay.
Condos, things of that sort. That's really it. I ain't gonna say that's really it, but that's my business. I mentioned 3: the clothing line, the promo company, and the real estate. That's my 5-year real estate goal.
Okay.
Business.
Alright. And y'all gonna look back and y'all gonna see.
And we gonna hold them to accountability.
Okay. And I'm gonna have 10% in that stake.
Hey. I
put it right.
She's gonna do my hair for free. For sure.
So yes, thank you for tuning in to Slick Talk.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
You're welcome.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all.